Welcome to Did You Know History, the bi-weekly show where I give you the 10 facts about a historical subject. This week, we have World War II. Without further ado, let's get started. Did you know that in World War II, there was something called the Bat Bomb? The Bat Bomb was a prototype weapon developed by the United States military. The idea was submitted by a friend of Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor then sent the idea to FDR. FDR, the military. The military then started to develop the bomb. The bomb was a bomb filled with bats that had incendiaries strapped onto their backs. The bats were then supposed to go into people's houses, and the bombs would cause the homes to explode and begin to burn. The concept was great, but the project took too long, and the bats were, surprisingly, hard to train. There was an incident that when one of the bats with the bomb strapped with explosives went into a tanker and exploded the ammo depot at the base. The U.S. government did not approve of this bat because it was too expensive and there were more efficient weapons available. Did you know that the Japanese would make brothels in lands they conquered? Yes, these ones were brought into the Japanese military. The military would label them as comfort women. These ones were repeatedly raped and sexually assaulted for the honor of the Japanese homeland. The first comfort house was made in 1932 with the consent of the Japanese government. It was made with the woman's consent. It was not made with sex slaves, as it was legal in the Japanese at the time. With rape of Nanking happened, it all changed. No longer were these houses a place of consent anymore. It was nothing more than a rape chamber of a place when local women would have to be taken from the ruins of their home and placed in a comfort house for the Japanese army to have their way with them. Did you know that the Japanese army had a torture unit called Unit 731? The unit was notorious for doing torture or medical research. The unit would use poison gas on prisoners. They would also mutilate people's organs. They would then put the organs in jars and label them by their nationality or other things. The unit did get prosecuted during the war crimes trial because the information was deemed too valuable by Douglas MacArthur. Now, to more lighthearted facts about World War II. Did you know that the USSR developed a flying tank? The tank was a modified T-60 light tank. The tank was light enough to fly. The tank was not developed into a military asset because it was to lose most of its armaments, headlights, and last, and most importantly, it had to lose most of its fuel. Did you know that the attack on Pearl Harbor only resulted in 50 civilian deaths? This is because the Japanese army rehearsed the attack so well, and also because they targeted only military objectives, nothing that was specifically military, not civilian. Did you know that the Keep Calm posters were made for the public in World War II? They were developed to help the public resist the German blitz and bombings. These posters now resonate with hipsters because I liked the posters before they were cool. Did you know that the Operation Barbarossa consisted of 75% of the German military? The number of German military personnel was over 3 million people. Did you know that the German government made a giant tank called the Panther Coffin Wagon? Mach 8 Maus. There was only 2 ever produced, and one was incomplete. The tank was so big that it had to have its own custom rail car. The tank was only a custom tank and was destroyed in Essen at the end of the war. Did you know that the German government had a radio station that was headed by a guy named Lord William Joyce? The radio station was meant to be a demoralizing force to the American and Allied forces. Did you know? During the Ethiopian War, it was the first time Ethiopia was ever conquered by a European power, and again reestablished after World War II. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have learned something today. Remember to be happy and beautiful.